Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about the film Scandal, which is a Japanese film produced in 1950, directed by Akira Kurosawa and starring Toshiro Mifune among others. The film talks about a painter. He made a small trip to the mountains so he could paint different landscapes. While he was painting, he met a famous singer. And then he heard that she had missed her bus and was traveling on foot at that moment. When he heard that both of them were staying in the same hotel, he volunteered to give her a lift so they could return to the hotel together in his motorcycle. When they arrived, there were some journalists who wanted to interview the singer, but she refused, and she refused to have her photograph taken. Then the reporters, they were very angry because the singer refused the interview, and they decided to take revenge on her. They decided to make a reportage saying that both the singer and the painter were having an affair. To make things worse, the journalists, they got to take a picture of the painter in the singer's bedroom, but nothing happened. They were only talking very briefly. When they returned from the trip and the painter realized what happened, he felt really outrageous, insulted. Then he tried to contact the singer because the singer didn't say anything about it. He realized that she was insulted too, but she didn't say anything in fear of anything that she could say would make the scandal even worse. But the painter decided to sue the newspaper because it was a lie. Then the painter was approached by a lawyer, and the lawyer said that he shared his disgust by the sensationalist media, and he tried to do everything he could to convince the painter to hire him as his lawyer. And it worked. The painter did that. Then after a while, the painter, he decided to visit the lawyer in his house. And then he met his daughter, who was a young girl, a very good-natured girl, but she had been in bed for 5 years because she was seriously sick with tuberculosis. And he felt very touched with the situation of the girl and what a good person she was, and the painter visited her regularly. Unfortunately, the lawyer, he was approached by some people from the newspaper and he was bribed. As the lawyer really needed money to pay for the treatment of his daughter, he accepted the bribery. And he had a very bad behavior during the judgment. He didn't do what he was supposed to do as a lawyer, so he didn't defend his client very much, and of course that his client was losing. And then his daughter realized that her father was different, was giving her more presents, and then she realized that he had accepted briberies and that it would be bad for the lawyer, would be bad for the painter, I'm sorry. And the painter was so gentle with her, was such a nice person, and she was disgusted with the behavior of her father. Then her father talked to the girl. He said that he repented his attitude, that he was a worm, he was a terrible person, he cried. But at that point, the lawsuit, it was very bad for the painter and the singer, because the lawyer wasn't defending his client properly. But the father, he showed remorse about his attitude, and the painter realized that. Then he talked the painter talked to the girl and told her to have more faith in her father, because the painter knew that her father wouldn't have this bad attitude for too long. He regretted his attitude. After a while, the lawsuit was still going bad for the painter and the singer, but then the girl, she passed away. And she passed away, of course, heartbroken with her father, and then it was the wake-up call for her father change his attitude for good. Then he decided to really defend his client. So he went to court, he showed the check that he received from the newspaper. He said he was bribed. He said that he was neglecting the case because of this bribery, that he accepted any punishment he would receive. And then it was a turning point for the painter and the singer, because then the judge and the jurors, they started realizing that both the painter and the singer, that they were innocent and they weren't having an affair after all. And then in the end of the film, we can see that the painter and the singer, they won the lawsuit. And then the painter said that in the middle of the judgment, he had seen a star in the sky, even though it wasn't night yet, which was probably a reference to the girl who had recently passed away. And then we can see that Kurosawa in this film, he criticized the sensationalist media, and that who didn't respect the privacy of anyone, and that this film is clearly a way to say that fake news, false news, they really destroy lives and reputations. Even though the painter and the singer were very popular in their business and the scandal only made them more popular, they were not happy with this kind of popularity. The singer said herself that popularity is useless without the respect of the people. And when the painter knew that his work was being more in demand because of the scandal, he refused to accept this kind of popularity, because it would be lack of respect with his paintings. He does serious work, so it shouldn't be associated with gossip, let alone fake gossip. So it is interesting to see that they were not willing to do everything just to be famous and rich. It's a very interesting mindset which we do not see often nowadays, when everyone seems to be willing to do everything just to be famous. It's a nice criticism. It's a very touching history, because the girl with tuberculosis, she was a good influence to everyone around her, to her father, to the painter, to everyone. And having faith in the institutions and having faith that the best things will happen because you are right, you are on the right side of things, it's something important to be kept in all circumstances. And we can see that also in the character of the painter. He wanted to sue the newspaper because he knew he was saying the truth and that the authorities would eventually acknowledge that. And it happened, even though it seemed something so unlikely. So it's one of the best Kurosawa's films. It's very, very touching. And the acting of all actors is very beautiful and convincing, and it's a kind of plot that never gets old. I'm sure you're going to love that. That's all for now, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you!